Welcome to this explainer brought to you by Forge College. I'm super excited to jump right into our engineering blueprint today. We're looking at composing tests and deployment scripts for project integration. If you want your Web3 code to actually survive contact with reality, you have landed in the exact right place. So let's grab our technical pens, sketch out this blueprint, and get straight into it. 'Cause, let's be honest, nothing strikes fear into the heart of a Web3 developer quite like the absolute chaos of deploying untested code to the mainnet. You've probably heard some of those terrifying short stories. It's basically the blockchain equivalent of going skydiving and hoping you packed a parachute instead of, a bag of laundry. We absolutely want to avoid that at all costs. To keep us safely on the ground, today's schematic is broken into 5 parts: moving from plan to pipeline, mastering the testing trinity, taming chaos, running a deployment dress rehearsal, and finally, getting everything ready for automation. Let's kick things off with Section 1, from plan to pipeline. Now, you might remember our previous explainer where we mapped out the access control architecture on Solana. Well, today, we are taking those theoretical, high-level plans and inking them into reality. We're building the concrete, repeatable components that our continuous integration will run on autopilot. We are literally moving from the drafting board right over to the assembly line. As we sketch this out, you'll see that every single pipeline requirement from your plan has to perfectly map to a specific physical artifact in your repository. Need fast checks on every code push? Okay, that maps directly to your test/unit directory. Need an integration check when you merge? That goes straight to the integration directory. And for safe deployment verification, you're going to build a deploy dry run script. It's really all about giving your logical requirements a physical home on your disk. Moving right along to Section 2, the testing trinity. I absolutely love this analogy. Think of your unit tests as checking the individual spark plugs of a car, completely in isolation. They are incredibly fast, and they tell you instantly if a single piece of code works. But your integration tests? That involves firing up the entire engine on a forked network just to make sure the spark plugs, the transmission, and the fuel line are all actually talking to each other. Both are absolutely crucial, but they serve very distinct purposes. So the big question is how we organize them. By physically separating our test suites into unit, integration, and invariant directories, we create these clean modular entry points. What this means is our CI pipeline can efficiently trigger the fast unit tests on every single push. It can save those slower, heavier integration checks for when we merge to the main branch. And finally, it can use invariant tests to really push the boundaries of our core logic. Okay, Section 3, taming the chaos, or as I like to call it, enforcing determinism. Let's define this clearly so we are totally on the same page. A deterministic test is simply one that produces the exact same outcome every single time you run it, completely free of any environmental flakiness. If you have non-deterministic bugs, those little gremlins in the machine that somehow pass on Tuesday but inexplicably fail on Wednesday, your CI pipeline is just going to become a nightmare of false failures. And frankly, your team is going to start ignoring the alerts altogether. To achieve perfect determinism, you've got to follow a few mechanical steps. First up, isolate your state by using fresh contract deployments for every single test. Second, lean on tools like hardhat network snapshots to instantly reset that state back to a clean slate. And third, strictly seed your test fixtures. You want to avoid any random or time-based variables creeping into your code and messing with your results. And here is a quick pro tip for you. The magic number is 3. A fantastic local checkpoint is to run your unit tests 3 times in a row. If the results vary at all, like say it passes twice but fails once, well, you still have some gremlins to hunt down. Lock that code in until it is 100% reliable. All right, on to Section 4, the deployment dress rehearsal. This is where we build in our ultimate safety valve, the dry run. Think of the dry run as your fire drill. It lets you simulate the entire deployment process completely harmlessly. It prints out exactly what intended actions are going to happen, like payload sizes or target addresses, without actually broadcasting a single real transaction to the network. For it to work properly, your dry run script needs to follow a very specific sequence. First, it reads a simple command line flag, like --dry. Next, it prepares the unsigned deployment payload. Third, it prints out a crystal clear summary of that payload right to the console. And finally, and this is the important part, it safely exits before broadcasting anything. It's literally the ultimate look-before-you-leap mechanism built directly into your code. But when it is time to take the training wheels off for real deployments, those must be strictly gated. For the actual deployment path, you have to act as a stage gate. You want to require strict environment variables, like a deployer private key. That way, if someone accidentally executes the script locally, it simply fails and throws an error, instead of accidentally pushing live code to the mainnet. And finally, Section 5, ready for automation. You always have to keep in mind that CI environments are just servers. They don't have keyboards, and they certainly don't have a human sitting there to click yes or continue. So your scripts must be fully documented in a Markdown file. They need to expose simple commands right in your package.json, and they have to rely entirely on non-interactive flags, zero interactive user prompts. The whole thing just has to be totally seamless.
Let's wrap this up by reviewing our core blueprint. Always map your pipeline stages directly to modular disk artifacts. Understand that test determinism is absolutely not a luxury, it is a mandatory baseline. Always implement a non-invasive dry run mode to keep things safe, and document the whole shebang thoroughly so automated CI can easily invoke it. Build these habits and I promise you, your Web3 deployments will be modular, totally predictable, and remarkably safe.
So I'll leave you with this thought to chew on. Are your deployment scripts completely deterministic and truly ready to be handed over to the CI automation machine? To dive deeper into this subject and explore a ton of other incredible Web3 topics, make sure you head over to forge.college. Until next time, keep your code tested, keep your deployments dry, and happy engineering.